Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you are well. If you're new, welcome, and if you're visiting, thanks for stopping by again. So today I wanted to show you how I created my DIY cleansing balm. So in order to start, you need a tub of shea butter, some coconut oil, some essential oils, and some containers to store your cleansing balm in, and preferably a mixing tool of some sort. So the first oil that I wanted to show you was the orange oil. So you notice some of these have a similar label because I got them in a set. So the next is ylang ylang. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Ylang ylang. The third is lavender oil, which is great for relaxation and anti-inflammatory properties. The fourth is rosehip oil. Again, that is an all-rounder oil. It's great for wrinkles, fine lines, pigmentation. And the fifth is frankincense. And frankincense again is great for hyperpigmentation and fading marks. And lastly, we have rosemary oil. That's more of an uplifting oil. I think it's good for circulation. I think, yeah. But I'll leave a link down below and all the essential oils. So moving on, you need a couple of scoops of coconut oil. So I put in, I think, 1.5 spoons there, and then I went in with another, and finally I added the last spoon. And these are quite big heaped tablespoons of coconut oil, but you can use as much as you want. So after adding the coconut oil, you're going to want to pop this into the microwave. Or you can melt it over a bowl of boiling water, but just don't let it boil too much. So once it's melted, it will just turn to normal oil. And next I'm just gonna add my shea butter. I'm using organic shea butter, but you can use any shea butter you want. And this is from a company called freshskin.co.uk. I get the majority of my products, like essential oils, shea butter, things like that, from freshskin.co.uk or naissance.co.uk. I think they sell on both Amazon and eBay. So of the shea butter, I think I added 4 scoops. Yes, I added 4 heaped tablespoons of shea butter. So once you scoop the shea butter into the coconut oil, you want to just break it up a little bit with whatever tool you have, and then go in with the whisk. So I whisked this for, I think, I want to say 3 or 4 minutes, but then obviously in YouTube time it's a lot quicker. I then went on and added, I think, was it 2 extra scoops of shea butter, because I was a bit worried that the mixture wasn't going to be solid enough. So I added a little bit of shea butter just to make sure that when it's set that it would be solid enough. So I went back in with the whisk, but you also notice there are still tiny lumps of shea butter, but that's okay because I mean the whole thing melts anyway when you rub it into your skin, so it's not really a big deal, but the majority of it is melted. So I just arranged my little plastic container tubs. So I don't have any fancy tubs for you, but those are the little containers I had. So I just wanted to have somewhere to pour it, but feel free to put it into like a glass jar or something. I wish I had a glass jar to actually put it in. That would have been a bit better. So first I went in with rosemary oil. So some of these essential oils are a lot more runny than others. Like the rosemary oil was quite runny. The next oil I added was frankincense. So you notice I have 2 containers, obviously because I wanted to have different scents. So the next oil there is rosehip oil. I added a couple more drops of that, and it all depends on your personal preference. I added less of some and more of others depending on the smell that I wanted to create. So you notice that I added a lot of different scents to the first batch of cleansing balm that you can see here. So next I went in with ylang ylang and added a couple of drops of that. That wasn't as runny, so I think I kind of ran out of patience and then moved on. But yeah, so it depends on how runny that actual essential oil is, so just be careful. So I went into the second container, I added the ylang ylang, and I also added the orange oil. And lastly, I went in with the lavender oil and added a couple more drops of that as well. So the lavender is very runny. I then went in and mixed both mixtures just to make sure that the essential oil wasn't sitting on top, because you definitely do not want that. You want to make sure it's thoroughly mixed in with the coconut and shea butter. If you go in and you don't mix it in properly and you have a layer of essential oil right at the top, you're gonna end up putting that straight on your skin, and you don't want to put concentrated essential oil straight on your skin. You want to make sure that it's properly diluted. So I then went in and had a sniff, and it wasn't as strong as I wanted it, so I went back in with a couple more drops of the same essential oils just to intensify the scent a little bit more. So I was going for a smell that was similar to my Elemis cleansing balm, which I had a little sample of and I loved it. So I wanted to create a strong scented balm and a more softer, subtle scented balm. So the second batch, that second container that you see here, is the more subtle smell. The first one, I had a whole ton of different essential oils in that, and that actually turned out pretty nice, I must say. So just make sure that you mix everything as well as you possibly can, and then once you're once you're done mixing, scrape the mixing tool. Next I went in with some more rosemary oil. I added a bit more lavender oil there, just so you know, and I also added a bit more of the ylang ylang, and I think that was it. So after the second time round, I mixed it again for the same amount of time, but then in YouTube time, that's like mere seconds. So I wanted to show you the travel jars that I got, which I originally wanted to use to store these. I didn't really remember how small they were gonna be, so I decided not to, but then I'm just showing you what they look like. They really are really good, and they were only £2.50 from Primark. I transferred these cleansing balms to my freezer and just let them sit for about 15 minutes or so. Because it is a small batch, they froze quite quick. Well, I say froze, they set quite quickly. And in order to check whether or not they set to the right consistency, I just poked at the top a little bit, and when I felt that it was set enough, so I was happy with it and I left it as it was. But then at this point, if you don't feel that your cleansing balm is set enough, just go ahead and pop it back into the freezer and just let it harden just a little bit more. So that is the finished result. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's a very quick video. If you do, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, and comment down below. Let me know if you're going to be trying this or if you've ever tried. So until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.